Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we are from Group 7 and today we are going to discuss about occupational safety and health in business management. So with me, Muhamad Zahidi bin Hamzah and Zhafiran bin Razalli. So first of all, I want to ask Zahidi. Zahidi, what are three main reasons why the company needs a safety management system?
Okay, thank you, Muhammad Zikri. So there's three main reasons that all companies should have to be implementing a safety management system. So these are in a certain particular order, but not exactly in that order. They all kind of have the same weight, but this is the way I weight them. So the first one, a lot of people will say, and especially the government will say the most important reason is because of the moral and ethical reason for doing it. So this means companies doing the what's called the right thing to do for their workers and for the economy and for their jurisdiction wherever that may be. This means sending workers home safe at the end of the every day, giving business owner the ability to sleep at night, knowing that they have done everything in their power to ensure that their workers are safe and healthy while they are under their watch. And also it improves employees morale as well too, because working for a place that you know cares about you are much happier at work knowing that, and they also tend to stick around a lot longer, so it does help with employees retention as well too. Next, the second reason that we have is a financial reason. So at the end of the day, businesses are in the business of making money, or most business are for profit, unless you are a charitable organization. But even then, not losing money for the charity is also good for business as well. Now, how do we know how safety management system helps you financially? A, it can reduce your insurance rates. So whether you are in another jurisdiction, everybody has some sort of insurance scheme that they are paying into you, that want to keep those rates as low as possible. So by reducing injuries and incident in your workplace, you can actually reduce your premium that you are going to be paying, because employers have more incident and injuries that are going to pay a higher rate than those who are safe and healthy at all times, because they are not paying lost time wages. It also, when you use the insurance, your rates goes up. Now also what you can do is avoid financially by having a safety management system in place, that are any fines or penalty that the government might impose on somebody that they deem unsafe. Now this happen through admitted rates of penalty through the government when they come in and you and see that you are not doing things, and then you don't do what they ask you, they can put an administrative fine on you. And also you can be prosecuted under the law, which can carry very hefty prosecution fine and penalty as well. Now another good reason for implementing a safety management system, if you were to get safety certified in some fact core certified, something like that. For the next reason is that uh, wait, is the third one
Are
is,
you okay?
yeah. For the third one, this is because very few companies implement a safety management system for this reason. It's usually because the Herman has told them that they have to do it. I mean, we all can call this legal compliance. All jurisdiction have health and safety laws stating that you have to have a safety management system in place. Now that range depending on which jurisdiction you are in, but at the core of it, everybody and every company registered needs to have a safety in place, that to ensure the safety and health of the workers in their workplace and others in their workplace also, not just workers, and so that they know of failing to do, so that it can result in those fine and penalties. That's all for me. I think that's the three main reason why
Oh, okay.
safety management should have been implemented.
Okay, very good answer. So next question. What can you tell us about factories and medium?
I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry for the internet connection. It is quite poor. So can you explain to me about Factories and Machinery Act 1967?
Okay. All right. Factory and Machinery Act 1967. It also another important legislation enforced by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health in Malaysia, which is the Factories and Machinery Act 1967, which was enacted to supersede the Machinery Ordinance 1953 of the States of Malaya. There were 16 regulations promulgated under the Act. The Act of 139 was enacted in 1967 and it is the legislation applicable until today to provide for the control of factory with respect to matters relating to the safety, health, and welfare of persons therein, the registration and inspection of machinery, and for matters connected therewith. The FMA 1967 was amended in 2006 and gazetted on September 14, 2006 and enforced on January 2007. The rationale for amending the FMA 1967 was to provide for the provision giving the power to the minister to issue license to individual or company carrying out activities under the Act, to update, to improve, and to clarify unclear or vague provision, to ensure the relevancy of the provision contained in the Act with the current development, and to ease the enforcement of the law, as well as to increase the amount of fines suitable to the current situation. Yeah, so that's the Factory and Machinery Act 1967.
Okay, thank you Zaidi for the answer. It's a very good discussion with you. So Zhafiran, I want to ask you about how does OSHA contribute to job safety and health?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. So OSHA contribute the primary goal of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, that is OSHA, is to carry out the Occupational Safety and Health, which Congress originally passed in 1970. The OSH Act has undergone several amendments and revisions since its inception, but it is still in place to ensure, so far as possible, every working man and woman in the nation safe and healthful working condition to preserve our human resource. OSHA contribute to job safety and health by enacting regulation that forward this idea. Title 29 of the Code Federal Regulation CF Part 1902 until 1990, that is a year of the house all the OSHA standard. OSHA also state the enact occupational safety and health law of their own under federal approved plans. State-run program are at least as strict and sometimes more so than federal standard. This ensure a minimum standard of job safety and health that all employers must follow to protect employees. So that's all my answer for discussion.
So the second question for me, are all employees covered by the OSH Act?
The OSH Act cover all employees except public employees in state and local government and those who are self-employed. Public employees in state are local government and covered by their state OSHA approved plan, if applicable. Federal employees are covered under the OSH Act, Federal Employees Occupational Safety and Health Program, which are outlined in 29 CFR Part 1960. United States Post Survey employees, however, are subject to the same OSH Act coverage provision as those in the private sector. Okay.
Okay. And then how many parts in this act?
How many parts in this act? They have 15 parts, which are preliminary. First one, preliminary. In this topic, it has 3 sections that we explain. Short title and application in this act may be cited as the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994. Prevailing law, the provision of the act shall be in addition to and not in derogation of the provision of any other written law relating to occupational safety and health. Interpretation for the purpose of the Act, risk arising of the activity of person at work shall be treated as including risk is suitable to the manner of conducting an undertaking, the plan or substance used for the purpose of an undertaking and the condition of premising, so use or any part of them. So the next one, appointment of officers. Appointment of officer, the minister shall appointment a public officer to be the Director General of Occupational Safety and Health. In this act, referred to as the Director General for the purpose of exercising the power, performing the function, and discharging the duties assigned to him under this act. Appointment of the independent inspecting body, the Director General may, as he deems fit, appointment a person or a independent inspecting body from any of the industry to advise or assist him in carrying out the object and purpose of the act. Certificate and authorization, the Director General shall issue to every officer appointment under this act a certificate of authorization which shall be produced on demand to the occupier or any person in charge of a place of work which the officer intend to enter pursuant to this act. So next is the National Council for Occupational Safety and Health. Established of the council, there shall be established a council called the National Council of Occupational Safety and Health. Membership of the council shall consist of not less than 12 and not more than 50 members, who shall be appointed by the minister of 3%. 3% shall be from organization representing employers. 3% shall be from organization representing employers. 3% or more person shall be minister or department whose responsibility is related to occupational safety and health. And 3 or more person whom at least one shall be a woman shall be from occupational safety and health, who in the opinion of the minister are able to contribute to the work of the council. Second schedule to apply, the provision of the second schedule shall apply to the members of the council. Next is general duties of employers and self-employed person. General duties of employers and self-employed person to the employees. It shall be the duty of every employer and every self-employed person to ensure so far as is practicable the safe health and welfare at work of all his employees. So the next is general duties of designer, manufacturer and suppliers. General duties of manufacturer regard from plan for use at work. It shall be the duty of person who design, manufacture, import or supplies any plant for use at work. So the next is general duty of employer. General duty of employees are at work. It shall be the duty of every employee while at work to take reasonable care for the safety and health of himself and of other persons who may be affected by his acts or permission at work. To wear or use at all times any protective equipment or clothing provided by the employer for the purpose of preventing risk to his safety and health, and to comply with any instruction or measure on occupational safety and health instituted by his employer or any other person by under this act, any regulation made render. So safety and health and organization, there are two department, occupational safety and health. And following the section 32, employees shall notify the nearest department of safety and health. Okay, that's all.
Oh, okay. Good answer. And another question for me, what is the objective of the act?
Oh, the objective. Objective is any land building or part of any building, any vehicle, vessel or aircraft, any installation on land, offshore installation or other installation, whether on the bed or floating or any weather, and any tent or movable structure.
Okay, and last question for me, Zhafiran, give me two safety and health organizations.
First one, Department of Occupational Safety and Health, which is the registered medical participant should report to the Director General of any the disease list in the third schedule of FMA 1967 of occupational poisoning. So the second is National of Institute Occupational Safety and Health.
Okay, thank you, Zhafiran, for the answer. So I will add a few points about the rules of occupational safety and health legal in business management. First, it is develop process and procedure for the best possible management of the hazards. And as we know, there are several hazards such as mechanical hazard, chemical hazard, ergonomical hazard, and etc. Next, the rules of occupational safety and health legal is to promote other members of the company or management to contribute in exchanging ideas to ensure safety in the workplace. And after that, the roles of the occupational safety and health legal is to examine all possibilities, effectiveness, and reliability to obtain the best result for the company concerned. And to be the great occupational safety and health officer, they must have to understand about the constitutional law and case control that related with safety and health environment, and they know about the science behind the safety and health environment, such as effect of hazards toward the people, effects of hazard towards the environment, and effects of hazard toward the economy of country. And they also have to know how to design of hazard control system, and the great occupational safety and health office have the knowledge in maths and statistics. And a few skills required to be national safety and health practitioner. They need system, policy and rules. Besides control methods for possible hazard exposures, and they have to understand mathematical and statistical. And the important things is they have to know about how to communicate, or what we call here communication skill. So I think for our first part is done, and it's great to have discussion with both of you. Should we proceed to the second part, which we will discuss about occupational safety and health act in Malaysia and its salient features. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will start first about Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994. I take the first six part, but I will explain about part 4, part 5, and part 6, which are general duties of employees and self-employed person, general duties of manufacturers, designers, and suppliers, and general duties of employees. So first, in Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, Part 4, general duties of employees and self-employed person. I will conclude that employers or workers must behave and control the attitudes to ensure the safety during the operation at its best. And they have to ensure that there is no possibilities for accident to happen. Besides, they have to prevent risk by not bring or use any outside things that can cause accident. For part 5, general duties of manufacturers, designers and suppliers, the conclusion from this act is it is need to carry out testing and examination that necessary for the performance of the machine or system. And then the manufacturers, designers and suppliers have to arrange necessary research to minimize any risk to safety or health that can cause accident. And for the part 6, general duties of the employees itself, they have to take a reasonable action to avoid accident. And this is by wearing PPE during work. Next, they have to obey the instruction from occupational safety and health practitioner. that they already set up the system and set up the rules to avoid the accident. And last but not least, the most important thing, employees can make complaint to employer about something that can disrupt their safety and health. And employers must listen to their complaint to avoid both party or both person having their difficulty at its future. So that was my part. So Zahidi, what can you describe about this second part about the
Okay.
occupational features? Do you have any additional features?
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna explain about a little bit about part 14, which is regulation. So it says that the minister may make a regulation for or with respect to the safety, health, and welfare of persons at work in order to achieve the object of this act. It says that also said that in particular and without prejudice to the generally of subsection one, such regulation may, which is a regulate or prohibit the manufacturer, supply or use of any plant, the manufacturer, supply, storage, transport or use of any substance, and also the carrying of any process or the carrying out of any operation. Uh, Such regulation also include that prescribe the requirements with respect to the design, construction, guarding, seating, installation, commissioning, examination, repair, maintenance, alteration, adjustment, dismantling, testing, marking or inspection of any products. I want to add also part 15, which is miscellaneous, which is the duty to keep secret. The first one instead that save for an inquiry under this act or in any court proceeding relating to the commission of an offence under this act or any regulation made thereunder. No person shall disclose any matter including any manufacturing or commercial secret which has come to his knowledge or which he has acquired while performing his duty under this act. And the second point is to a person who contracts the provision of this section shall be guilty of an offence and shall, on conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 20,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or to both. So yeah, that's part 14 and 15 for me. From me.
Thank you, Zaidi. So Zhafiran, do you have any additional for this part?
Okay, so it will have a positive impact of the company for the long term. When the employer care about the employee are also about the performance and the condition of the company. So the OSHA management is not to carry out the properly in a company. It may give some trouble management because of they are in of they are not indirect cost that being also include into their overall cost in the company, which company will lose more profit. So OSH legal requirement in the company, the client will feel more secure, but because of OSH in practice in the whole company, which that will give more profit to the company. So every company need to register in Malaysia, need to obey health and safety of employee law, which has been implemented by the Malaysia government, such as OSHA, are the main law that should be followed by every company. So the fine will be definitely be imposed on any company found guilty of failing to comply with the provision of the law which can affect the company reputation. So that's all my discussion.
So I think all of us already answered the question about the rules of OSH legal requirements in business management, and the second questions about occupational safety and health act in Malaysia and its salient features. So I think that is the end of our forum or discussion. So thank you for your cooperation, Zahidi and Zhafiran. So till we meet again, thank you and goodbye.
Thank
Assalamualaikum.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yeah.